Hello everyone, and welcome to the Syncfusion webinar, a tour of Volume 1's 2019 updates to EJ2. My name is Carter Harris. I'm the Video Marketing Specialist here at Syncfusion, and I will be your webinar moderator today. And our presenter will be Michael Prabhu M., Product Manager here at Syncfusion. Now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Michael to get this presentation started.
Thank you, Carter. Hey guys, this is Michael here. I'm one of the product managers at Syncfusion, and I see through the workflow of the controls like chat, maps, tree map, gauges, pretty much all the Dataviz controls. And here I am today to present what is new in our EJ2 Volume 1, EJ2 for our Volume 1 to or razor, or you call it as bracer set of controls. So without further ado, I think we'll jump into what are the new controls that are available for our EJ2 in our Volume 1 2019 release. So this EJ2 suite already has 60 plus controls that are available for you, and we have also added 4 plus controls here, and they are the dashboard layout, the file manager, the Gantt chart. This is the most much awaited Gantt chart, the list box. What I have planned for today is I will show what are the controls that are introduced with demos, or also how to configure it. So let us see how to start with our demo for dashboard layout. So before getting into the dashboard layout, I guess I want to share you guys about this website. This is the website for ej2.syncfusion.com, and you can go through this website and see what are the controls that are available here. And clicking on these things, you can see the demos available, and you can see what are the other platforms that are available. So clicking on navigating to each platform, you can see all these controls available here, and clicking on those controls, you will see the demos available. So if you guys are not aware of it, I think you should make a note of it. Now let us move on to our new set of control, that is a dashboard layout. So a dashboard layout is used to create a feature-rich dashboard. It is basically a layout that will arrange any panels that are inside it. For example, here in this demo, you can see that we have 7 panels inside it, and this panel can be arranged anywhere between the layout. It will auto arrange itself, and you can resize the panel to any size of your desire, and you can arrange it at any place that you want. So what it basically does is it will give you a fair idea of how to create a dashboard. How to arrange a dashboard layout at ease, so that you can add any set of UI controls into the panel as a content, and it will give you a futuristic dashboard. So now let us see a real world sample for this. So here is a SEO analysis dashboard. So here what we have done is, as I said, we have added our own set of UI controls like chart, maps, cards, and you can see here that you can rearrange these things here. So you will get a fair idea about how to create it and how to have a dynamic and feature-rich dashboard. So we also have features like predefined layouts, so that you guys can choose from any of the layouts that are already available rather than creating from the scratch. And I also like to show you the APIs that are available to customize these dashboard layouts. The main API is cell spacing. For example, if the cell spacing is nothing but the space that is available between each panel, and allow resizing will make sure that you will have a thumb for resizing. If I click it here, then I can see the thumb and I can resize this panel. And allow floating is nothing but, for example, if I want to place these things here, as you can see, nothing is floating up and everything is arranged on this. But if I click allow floating, what will happen is it will automatically go up and fill the space which are available. So allow floating is one such feature that one such API that you can use to have your uh, layout designed, and you can add the panels and you can remove the panels. So this is really a very good layout that you guys can try it out to create a dashboard of your own. So now let us see the other control, the file manager. So file manager, we already have a file manager in EJ1, and we had many requests for EJ2 as well, and we have heard you, and here it is. The file manager is used to explore the file system through a web application. This is similar to the Windows Explorer for Windows. It supports all the basic file operations such as create, rename, delete, and so on. And this is a basic view of the file manager, and you can see there is a toolbar available here. So if you want to add a new folder, you can create a new folder. And if you so anything that is available in the server can be accessed, and it can be stored on the client side using the file manager with clear UI like this. So in the left side you have the navigation pane, and in the right side you have the details view. um, you can also customize all these things with custom thumbnails. So here you go, and you can set the icons here for the custom thumbnails. So this is basically so any properties that you can have is you can have the toolbar. So this is basically what you can do with the file manager. You can show all the file systems that are available in your server at the client side for your application. So it is a very cool control that we have introduced for EJ2 for volume 1 2019. So let us see the next control. This is a much awaited Gantt chart. So before going into showing you about the Gantt chart, I like to introduce you guys about our feedback portal system, which if you guys are not aware about our feedback portal system, Syncfusion feedback is available, in which you can request for any feature, or you can upvote for any feature, or you can give us your feedback, or if you can also report any issues that find with the controls. So it is categorized into each platform we have. So it is easy for you to get into this feedback portal. So this is syncfusion.com/feedback, and log in your feedbacks, or you can upvote your features and anything like that. So this feedback system was introduced in the late 2018, near December. So here we here we have a new Gantt. Here we have a request for new Gantt control, and it has upvote about 16 votes, and we have considered this, and we have completed this, and we have completed this, and here it is. So here is the new Gantt control that you can see here. So the Gantt control has the tree grid on the left pane and the timeline view on the right pane. So what basically it does is you can fill out any um, project details here, and you can see through all the project uh, completion phase and all those things here. So it is a pretty cool. It has a new set of features comparing to EJ1, and I like to highlight a few features that are available in Gantt chart that is not available in EJ1. So we have a customizable timeline. So earlier we had only one tier of timeline that can be shown. Now we have two-tier layout support, and we are also in the future we are going to extend it to three-tier layout in the future. So we also have taskbars that can be customized for unscheduled tasks, and we have advanced add and edit dialog boxes, which is not available in EJ1. We have column menu filtering, We can quickly add an inline and add any option through it. It is more like a shortcut on the keyboard. So we also have data markers that are available to indicate any flags in the taskbar. We also support all the four themes that are already available, and also we have introduced the Bootstrap 4 theme, which we introduced in our Volume 1 2019. So also we have customizable columns, and also we have improved UIs, like we have given horizontal line and grid line support for to have a pretty good user experience by improving the UI. So here it is. So this is the dashboard. I'm sorry. This is the um, default look of our Gantt chart. So you can customize the taskbar available. See, so we have a taskbar template support so that you can customize the taskbar. You can edit any set of task available. For example, I can move this task through the timeline, and I can have it. I can also have the relational data that can be edited. So these things, if you want to add, you can add any set of new tasks that need to be added based on the dependency, and all those things can be added here. And we also have the filtering. For example, this is new feature. So for example, if you want to see the trajectory in this particular chart, so you can see what has happened, and all this filtering system which are new to this Gantt chart. So we have the only the timeline view if you want to have. So you can see what are the tires that are available here. So you can customize all these things is pretty much easily. For example, see here I have removed the top tire, like February. I don't want to see the months, then I can remove that. I just can see the week view here. So these are the few set of features that are new to Gantt chart. And you can also use you can also have the all the other features that are available in EJ1. So it is a double bonus, if you ask. Gantt chart is pretty much have all the features and that you need. So now let us see the other set of I mean the next control that I like to talk about is the list box. So list box is pretty much uh, the control that is used to list a set of items. So if you have a data source that you want to bind, and you can see that particular list in this control, so you can choose any set of items from this list. If you want to choose multiple items, then you have to press control and you can choose multiple items in this list. We have a dual list box support here. So for example, if I'm selecting a particular thing and I want to move to the next list, then I can move it to the right. If I want to select something and move to the left, and if I want to move it to the top of the list, then I can do that. Or if you want to get all the list to the other side, then you have that way to do also. Likewise, you have the drag and drop support. For example, I can drag Bermuda and drop it here in Group B. So we also have the checkbox support. If you don't like to click the control and choose the multiple items, then you guys can check on the checkbox and choose these things. So we also have features for sorting the list items in ascending and descending. So we also can group the items. So these as you can see, it is grouped into leafy and salad, bulb and stem. So these are the things that can be done with the list box. So the next set of features that I'm going to explain are about the Dataviz controls. So in the charts, we have given support for 100% stack line, access label line break, animation on data update, access label enhancement for circular gauge. We have given support for RTL in Sparkline, and we have given support for Swift swimlane and diagram, and we have given support for stock events in stock charts, and RTL on demanding loading and responsive legend for tree map. So let us see how these features work um, here. So here it is. So here you go. This is a line series. This is a stacked line series. And here is a very good example to show the stacked line series where it is used. For example, here we are showing a family expense for a month, and it has four people like John, Peter, Steve, and Charlie. And let us see what these guys have spent for entertainment. As you can see, John has spent $75 in entertainment, and Peter has spent $45, and Steve has spent 65, and Charlie has 115. But in what you can see here is in the y-axis, all these values get stacked up. For example, here it is 75, and the next is 45, but you can see it is already about 150. So on a total of, if I want to see all the stacks that is available, and I can see the final here is, it is denoting 300. So the whole thing for the entertainment is 300. So it pretty much shows how it can be stacked, and the same goes for the 100% stack line series. Here, the only difference that you can see is the values are uh, 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 the values are given in the percentage value, so that you guys can get a fair amount of how many percentage of the money is spent on these things. So this is a new set of feature that we have given support for chat, and this is the animation feature that I like to introduce. Uh, Earlier in chat, we didn't have provision to animate the chat while the data is being updated dynamically. Only when the chat is getting loaded, you can set the animation. But this animation gives you a very good UI representation of your data, and this is a much requested feature from the customers, and this adds value whenever you want to show a data, whenever you are updating a data every second, then it will give you a real nice animation. And as you can see here, every data is updating every second, and it has a good animation here. So the next feature that I like to show you guys is uh, axis line break. So here it goes. As you can see here, the United States of America has been breaked into two sentences. So this is one set of feature that everybody is requesting is about, because what happened is if we have the United States of America in a straight line, then you will see that it the label itself will occupy too much of space, and the chat will be in a smaller space. So now we can avoid this, and we have line breaks for access labels, and this is one feature that is good that I like to introduce to. And the next feature I would like to talk about is the circular gauge. In this, what we have given is we have given support to show the last label here. So show last label 170. So to give an overview of what this is all about is what circular gauge basically does is it will have a range, and if you give intervals to the range, it will append in that way. So for example, here the interval is 20, 40, 60. As you can see, it appends every 20 to the range, and after 160 we should, so we the next label that can be shown as 180. but uh, but the range falls between 0 to 170. So there are chances that this particular label cannot be shown. So uh, so now if you want to show that particular label, now you have a chance to show the last label as well. So this is one feature that circular gauge had in this release. The next one I like to talk about is the sparkline. So now we have given support to render this sparkline from right to left. Basically, it renders from left to right. Now you can render it from right to left. So this is one feature that upgrade that we had in Sparkline. So the next cool feature I like to talk about is the stock chart. So the stock chart has now given support to add stock events to the chart. So what it basically does is you can add any number of events to the chart. As you can see, this is an event close, and as you can see a tooltip here that shows what it is all about. And here you can see quarter 1, that is for the Apple stock, and here you can see it is for the Amazon stock. So all these things that can be seen in the stock chart. Let me show what this is all about. So here it is a group. Here I'm showing all the data that is available, and you can see that is 2013 quarter, and here is a arrow mark that shows the surge in stocks, and here it shows the Google chart. So here it shows the open, and here it shows the close. So you get a pretty much idea about what the stock events is all about. So in a financial data, you need to have these events that shows the information about that particular event. So it's a pretty cool feature. So I will show you how to enable these features. So here it is. You guys can use start events, and you guys can add this into the array, and here you can give the date in which you want to add the event. For example, what text that has to be displayed is here. It is quarter 2 Q2, and the description is nothing but the description that you want to show it on the tooltip, and the type is nothing but what type of event that has to be shown. For example, here we are showing it as flag. We have events like square, pin, circle, arrow up. So these are the things that are available. So you can customize the color of the background color of the event. You can give border color to it. So this is what stock event is all about. So I guess I get a fair idea about what stock events are and how it can be customized. So now let us see the next set of cool feature that we have introduced in diagram. So in diagram, we have introduced swim lane. This is a very interesting feature that everybody requested, because a swim lane helps to uh, categorize the flowchart which you have created. For example, here you can see the flowchart, a sales flowchart is categorized into 4 phases, like consumer, marketing, sales, and success. So this is pretty much used for creating, categorizing your diagram into any set of phases that you like. So we have this feature enabled. So as you can see, I can click and drag anything I want here, and I can add any so you can customize anything that you want here and add any diagrams into it, so that you can categorize into any function and all those things. So this is a very cool feature that we have introduced. And the next one that I like to talk about is the events. So we have given support for events, so that you can do anything with your application. So here it is. I'm just clicking and dragging it here, and you can see that diagram selection change event has been triggered, and history change event has been triggered. So if I want to enable the double click event, if I double click here, see a double click event has been changed. So you can see all these events that are pretty much helpful for you to create a feature-rich diagram whenever you need. So the next set of feature I would like to talk about is the tooltip. So now we have support to show tooltip when you hover on the nodes. And the next feature I like to talk about is the history manager. So history manager is nothing but it has all the history of what you do with the diagram, so that you can give your customers uh, uh, with the option to change it around. For example, I have dragged it here, and I'm pressing Control Z, and see, you can see it is in the undo stack and the redo stack. So if I want to redo it, if I want to undo it, so this is pretty much cool stuff that you can do with the whatever you do. It is stored in the history manager, and you can undo, and you can also redo it if you want. So this is a cool feature that upgrade that had in the diagram. The next feature that I like to talk about is the flow execution. So flow execution gives you an idea about where this is flowing. For example, incoming here, it is showing incoming and outgoing connections. So I have selected this particular node. I can see what are the incomings and outgoing connections about that particular node. If I select this, I can see what are the incomings and outgoing connections. And if I want to see the incoming node from our editors, viewer, and input features. So we have given support for context menu customization in the word processor. We have also given support for text markup annotations in PDF Viewer. We have given support for rendering from right to left in PDF Viewer. And we have also given support for cleanup on pasting in rich text editor. And we have given support for a cool feature for multi-line text box. So let us see a demo for all these features. So the next feature is from the document editor. As you can see, we have given support for context menu. Now I'm clicking. Now I have right-clicked on this particular page, and you can see that you have cut, copy, paste, hyperlink, font, paragraph. But let us see. Let us say that I want to search some words in the Google, and I want to add that to the context menu. So now I have created a custom context menu. Now if I click see, I have added a search in Google. So this is a cool feature that is available in the document editor now. The next feature I like to talk about is the rich text editor. In rich text editor, we have given paste cleanup feature. What it basically does is, for example, here I can show you. So the format option is set as prompt. So whenever I'm copying something from this particular rich text editor, and I'm going to press Control C, and and when I and when I try to paste here, you can see, and you and you can see here that whether I need to keep the paste format or I need to clean the format or it has to be a plain text. So you will get a prompt to show what kind of formatting action that you need to paste the particular content here. So I'm going to keep the format here. So I'm going to give OK. So the format is uh, see I have taken here and I have pasted it here, and it has the format of bold attached to it. So this is basically used for copy pasting and all these things. Gives you more value to have a very good editor. The next thing that I would like to show about is the multi-line text box. So multi-line text box is basically used in your application for entering your address, or basically it is used in the comment section where you need not have a rich text box like a thing. So if I want to enter your address, see, basically what I can do here is I can emphasize any number of rows here. For example, here I'm adding 7 rows so that you can add 7 text around it. The next thing is, if I choose it as read only, then this box cannot be copied or paste. So it is just read only. If it is disabled, and I can't do anything about it. So this is basically the set of features that we have introduced with our multi-line text box. So the next set of features that I like to talk about is about the grid features. Basically, the features that are available in our pivot grid and our tree grid. So we have introduced the chart integration with the pivot grid, and we have given toolbar support. We have given grouping for date and number. We have given support for cell selection, and also support for cell template. In tree grid, we have checkbox selection and checkbox column. So I guess I will show you the demo of what these features are all about. So, so here you go. So here it is. As I said, and we have given support for chart integration into the pivot table. Earlier in EJ1, what we had is we had two set of controls like you had a pivot table separately, and you had a pivot chart separately. And if you want to integrate both, you need another control called pivot client. In that, you can integrate both the chart and the grid. But now we have made a decision to integrate a chart into the pivot grid itself, so that it so that the pivot client is not needed. So here you can see uh, I can add any set of values from the pivot table values. Here I want to add the stocks to the chart, and as you can see behind that the charts are updating here. So see, I have added the rows here. So the set of chart series that are available are basically all the Cartesian series that are available. So bar, line, spline. So basically all the Cartesian charts, and also the circular charts like polar and radar. So this gives you a fair idea about how to integrate a chart into it. And it is also very easy to add a chart into the pivot table. Like you have like you have an API called display option dot view. You have to set this property to chart, so that you will see the display instead of a table, you will see a chart. So this is a built-in feature that if you want to see both the chart and the table at the same time, then you have to set it as both. So these are the features that are available in the pivot table. So the next feature I like to talk about is the cell template. So here it is. Now you can customize the cell of your desire. Here in this sample, we have given the close and open values, and we have shown it in the uh, green and red arrows. The next feature I like to talk about is the grouping. So here you can see that the values are grouped here based on days, months, and so if I want to stretch out, I can see what you had specifically in January. So everything is grouped into date and all those things, and you have also have the filter. So if you don't want to include anything, then you can just exclude any particular date from that. So this is basically so also you can group. If you want to group by date, I can just drag and drop here. Now it is grouped with multiple items with days here. So this grouping feature gives you an idea about how to group all the pivot contents here. So here I can also, if I wanted to group by quarter, I can give that too. So now you can see that it is expanding in quarters. So this is what basically it does. Next, the feature I like to show about is the toolbar. So now we have support for toolbar, and you can add any set of controls here, so that basically it has predefined toolbar with the things that you need most are available in the toolbar. So these are the functionalities that you can add if you want to create a new report, if you want to save this report. So these are the things that available basically in the toolbar that you want. So so these are the cool features that is available in the pivot table. And the next thing I like to show about is the tree grid. So so in the tree grid now we have support for checkbox column. Earlier we don't have this support. For example, uh, you can check the entire column you want, and if you want to take over anything, that then that can also be made. So this is a cool feature so that from a tree grid you can choose any set of items for in a column. And now this is one feature that I like to highlight it. So these are the cool features that we have for our EJ2. So the next thing that I like to talk about is our new Razer components that we have, the new set of Razer uh, framework that we are going to support. So Razer is basically introduced by Microsoft, and it is an early preview. And Razor gives you an advantage of creating your client-side web apps using C# and .NET. Traditionally, we used to build all these client-side using ASP.NET with JavaScript in it. So you need to have pretty much all the knowledge in JavaScript and also with some knowledge in .NET. Now, anyone who knows .NET and C# can build a client-side web app using the Razor and Razor components. This is a cool set of framework that was introduced by Microsoft, and it is an early preview stage. But even though it is an early preview stage, we have given support for this particular framework, and you guys will love this because in this early preview itself, what we are providing you is the highlights below. We have all the 60 plus UI controls that are available in the JavaScript, Angular, or all the EJ2 all the EJ2 UI controls are available in the Razor component as well. So, uh, so it is a pretty exciting thing to have all these controls for you to check out your Razor applications. And the Razor controls that we have developed are lightweight, and it is responsive. It is modular, and we have started it from the scratch, so it is touch friendly, and it is basically built for the mobile friendly applications. So without further ado, I'd like to give you an overview about what a Razor control is all about. And for that, I think I will create a new project from the scratch. So one second. So I will show how to create you guys a new Razor control here, so that you guys will get a fair idea about how to create it, and how easy it is to configure our controls in a Razor application. So here I am. I'm going to create a new project. So for basically to have Razor, you should have a .NET Core 3.0, and you should have Visual Studio 2019 present in it. Earlier, Microsoft provided provision for adding Razor component in VS 2017, but now they are strictly sticking on to Visual Studio 2019. So here I am. Here I have installed Visual Studio 2019 preview, and now let us see how to create a new project for our ASP.NET Core. So I'm going to select ASP.NET Core web application, and then I'm going to choose next. So I'm going to name it as my my first Razor. So I'm creating this project, and it will show me a template of what I have to choose. So here I go. So you guys can see that ASP.NET Core 3 is available. So basically, Razor runs in ASP.NET Core 3, and you guys can choose the Blazor template here. So I'm choosing the Blazor template. So after starting the application, you can after starting the application, you can add the NuGet packages because our components are available as NuGet packages. So you can search Syncfusion EJ2 ASP.NET Core Razor components in the NuGet package manager. So here I am going to add the NuGet that is required to render our controls. Manage NuGet packages for solution. So go to the browse tab and search for the control. So here, don't forget, if since this is an early preview, so you have to check the include pre-release. Then else you will not have this have the set of controls shown here. So I have to choose this Razor control and have to select it, and I have to install it here. So I'm just going to install it here. So while this is installing, let us see what is the next step to configure our control. So once you add this, uh, you guys have to include the set of scripts that are required. So I already have the scripts written here. So I'm going to navigate. So this is installed now. So now I'm going to navigate to the www root folder. Inside that, I have the index.html here. So I have to add these set of scripts that are required. So this is nothing but the Fabric theme that I have used here. So fabric.css and the whole set of JavaScript for EJ2 min, and so these are the prerequisites that you need to have it in your application. Then what I'm going to do here is I have to add a tag helper. So inside the viewports.cshtml, so that you can refer that in your application. So here it is. So inside the view imports.cshtml, I'm going to add the tag helper Syncfusion EJ2. Uh, so here you go. Then so now what I have to do is I have to add this particular code to render a circular gauge. So I'm just going to go with the circular gauge here to show you the demo. So you have to add this set of code inside the index.cs HTML page. So here you can see that we already have set of hello world code that is written from the template. Now I have written a few code of my own here. So as you can see, this is a div element that I have introduced with the class control section. Inside that, I have a tag called EJS circular gauge. So I need not initialize anything to have everything. So here it is. This is fine. Now let us build the solution. So it is built now. Then you can run the solution. So here you go. We have successfully configured the gauge control. This is a basic gauge without any customization that is added to the gauge. So basically, I have just added this particular line, EJS circular gauge tag, and you can see the result here. So now let us see how to customize the gauge with a new set of code. Like for example, here. I like to change the value of the gauge to 30. So here it is. I'm just to save time, I'm just going to copy paste this particular code here once again. So, and I will explain it. So here you can see EJS circular gauge, and then the other tag, the circular gauge axis. And inside the axis, you can have the circular gauge axis. So I want to change the pointer value, right? So here I'm giving the pointer values to the object pointers, and inside the function here, I have created an object called pointers. and inside the object I have given the new value as 35. I'm going to change it as 30. So here it is. I'm just going to save this and label it. So I'm going to run this. So now you can see that the pointer value has been changed to 30. So this is, guys, we are pretty much excited about this laser set of controls. And as you can see how easy it is to configure these controls and uh, create easy applications that you like in the client side or in the server side. So I guess these are the things that I like to talk about, and I have given you, you guys might have had an idea about what are the features and what are the frameworks that we have introduced, and I think I'm pretty much done here. So I think I will move on to Carter. Carter, can you take on from here?
Yes, I can take over from here. Syncfusion delivers an extensive range of over 800 web, mobile, and desktop controls. We also empower businesses to get the most out of their data with our enterprise solutions, including the dashboard and big data platforms. We have been in business for over 15 years and are headquartered in the Raleigh-Durham area of North Carolina in the US. Syncfusion has more than 12,000 customers, including large financial institutions, Fortune 100 companies, and global IT consultancies. More than 1 million users from 125 countries trust Syncfusion in the development process. We also would like to ask you guys if you would like to connect with us either on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We always appreciate getting to know you guys better, and we love to give a platform to have any questions or concerns or anything else you'd like to ask us. So please check us out. Thank you all for joining us today, and thank you, Michael, again for presenting.
Thank you, Carter. Thank you, guys.
Thank you again for your time and interest, and we'll see you next time.